Life doesn't come with a reset button, but sometimes it rewires us completely. I'm Rob, survivor, storyteller, and advocate. This channel is where pain meets purpose, where voices like mine and yours gets amplified.
I'm Ashley. Whether you're one of us or standing with us, today's episode is all about brain injury awareness, and it all begins in just 30 seconds.
Love and laughter lead the way through the darkest, hardest days. Hope still burns, it won't retire. This is me, my life rewired. I was broken, now I'm whole. Wrote new chapters for my soul. Not the end, just re-inspired. This is me, my life rewired.
Last week on Life Rewired, we unpacked what brain injury awareness really means and why it's more important than just ribbons and recognition. We talked about the visibility, the myth, the looking normal, and how awareness builds empathy, not pity. The conversation was too powerful to just cut short, so
We're back with part 2. Today we go deeper because awareness is not just about what people know, it's about how they respond. It's a difference between support and silence, between being seen and being dismissed.
So last week we left off, we didn't leave off, hold on. So last week we left off with survivors deserve to be seen, heard, and loved.
Yes. So we're starting with the brain doesn't heal on a schedule.
Yeah, if you missed last week's episode, I encourage you to go back and take a look at that. This week we're going to go a little bit deeper. The brain doesn't heal on a schedule. Long-term effects are real. Even years later, awareness keeps getting conversations going by the acute phase. So if survivors aren't forgotten, that's very important that we don't forget. Think of the awareness that we give for all of the injuries that can be seen, like what is it LDS? Is that the Lou Gehrig's disease?
ALS.
ALS, sorry. ALS has physical attributes that you can tell that the person has some kind of a disability. I'm trying to think in my brain real quick of other abilities like
Multiple sclerosis, people that have cancer that are actively undergoing chemotherapy.
Right. Our friend Ben Waits, who's been on the program, and I can never say
Arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, or AMC.
yes. Something I was not aware of until we had been on the program, and we know that it also affects your family too, Ashley. So that's why awareness is so important. It's to keep those conversations going so that we're cognitive of people's needs, people's desires to be seen, heard, and validated.
Absolutely. That segues into churches, doctors, bosses need it too, because awareness isn't just for friends and family. It's critical in our faith spaces for those of us that are religious, workplaces for those of us that are working, and healthcare because, at least in the United States, we see doctors. Better awareness means better care everywhere. So, I'm spiritual. I don't attend church, so I can't really speak to that. But in terms of, the workplace, if I need a break, I'm able to let my boss know, hey, I need a break. So I'm very fortunate to have a flexible schedule. Like I said many times, I don't think if I had a traditional 9 to 5 that, I'd be able to do that. So I'm just very fortunate that they are accommodating to my needs.
Right.
I know you have a pretty understanding employer too, Rob. Is that correct?
Absolutely. My boss, and not even just my boss, my entire team that I work with, they've all been so supportive to me. They've come to different events that we've held. it's been a great thing that they recognize that even though I'm still the office comedian, they know that when Rob hasn't talked for 3 or 4 hours in the team chat because I work from home, they know things are going on, and I will have individuals reach out to me and say, "I'm sure you're having a bad day," and it's not for them to say, "Oh, poor Rob." They know that they want me to know that they are aware
Mm-hmm.
and that they care,
Mm-hmm.
and that goes so far with me because I return the favor to them every time, and it's great
Absolutely.
to have that. They know that there are certain things that I cannot do. And whenever that work comes towards us that we have to do, they will rally around me and say, "You need help, just let me know." And I do too, because I will always need help. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I was trying to not validate, I was trying to navigate into another point on that, but um, I've lost my train of thought, so I'm going to throw it back to you.
I don't know. I totally spaced out. I'm so sorry. I'm low on spoon.
Ashley, you need not apologize.
I know
But,
we were talking about work and your coworkers like sending you,
mhm.
it seems like you're having a bad day thing and it not being a sympathy thing. That's the last thing I remember.
Yeah, well, we were talking about how awareness isn't just for friends and family, and how it extends even further than that. I'll do you one better too. I'll even tell you about, and I totally messed my notes up, but I'm still going to go forward anyway. But I will go one further and tell you that a common theme that I'm hearing in our support groups, and if you are looking for a support group, look us up on Facebook. We have what, 2,000 members now or something like that. The common thing that I hear over and over again are when they go to even neurologists, I hear they don't understand what a brain injury is like. Yeah, that's very true. I don't know why. And a lot of these doctors, and there's great ones out there. I'm not knocking the medical field. There are great doctors out there who understand and listen to their patients, but there needs to be more education because, I mean, let's face it, when you go to the doctor, how many patients do they have a day, Ashley, do you think?
Oh God, they probably like every 15 to 30 minutes. And if they're working like a, 8 to 12 hour shift, I'm assuming this is like in an office and not a hospital.
Right,
At
right.
least, I would at least think like 50 a day, well,
Exactly.
I'm assuming if it's a 12-hour shift, I mean 30 to 50 if it's more
Yeah.
of an eight. Yeah.
Give or take, give or take. But you have to realize it's not that they don't care about you. They're spread so thin, and if you're seeing all these patients that, you know, low grade, and I hate saying low grade, but a moderate TBI, then there's
Hmm.
some people that have very severe.
That's why I
They're
say mild to severe.
Yeah, so they're all over the board. So they're I don't want to say it's their education. And a lot of it might come back to they just don't have time to show that they care. But I hear it so often that that's the common thread that people say that the medical professions just don't get it. And maybe there is some truth to that. Um, can't think of any other examples to give you on that note.
Awareness isn't seasonal, it's a lifeline. It's not just Brain Injury Awareness Month, which is September. Every day, someone is misjudged, unsupported, or overlooked. Every day, awareness matters because this is a daily journey. This isn't we're just going to celebrate, once a month, just like with all the other awareness months. Like, yeah, it has a month dedicated to it, but I mean, it needs to be recognized year round because it doesn't take a holiday, it doesn't take a day off.
Right. You're exactly right. I mean, I'm thinking that's the one thing about having awareness months. It should be every day should be an awareness day, but I think how locally here we'll have the local ball game. I don't want to give their name because there's so many places out there. We're national, so but let's say Cincinnati Reds. I'll just say, for example, they may do a tonight is cancer awareness night or tonight is ALS awareness night, and that's great. And we're so thankful that people acknowledge that and they do that, and that is so great. But my mind goes back to thinking we should keep the awareness going because after those people leave the ball game, are they thinking about ALS? Maybe for a few days.
Hmm.
And if they have someone in their life that's impacted with it, they're going to be thinking about it longer than that.
Right.
But if they're not hearing about it, they're not thinking about it and they're not aware of it. So that's why it's so important, not just for brain injuries, for every condition, to keep the awareness all year round.
Hmm.
So it's awareness, and I'm probably stepping all over you, Ashley. I don't know why I almost called you Allie. I don't know anybody named Allie. But awareness turns into action, more research, better laws, accessibility, and inclusive media representation. And that goes back to exactly what I was talking about, I think, in last week's episode about how TV shows and movies don't portray it. Now, I will give props to. There's been a few movies here recently that's given a better representation of what a brain injury is like. We need more things like that. Um, I was going to make a point about the laws and things. I don't know. Uh, I'm not going to say where you're from, but where you're from, I don't know how your laws go. But in Kentucky, they actually have a new thing now where they put it on your driver's license in your record. So, say if you get pulled over by the cops, the first thing they do is they run your plates. Well, that will come back and it'll say this person has a brain injury. So the cop, before he gets to your door, knows he's dealing with someone who has a brain injury, who may have ability in their speech, word finding. So instead of the cop coming into the situation blind and thinking, okay, this guy's slurring his speech, he doesn't know, he can't even complete his sentence. He's drunk. Now that's completely out the window. So they're aware of that. I'm across the river in Indiana. We do not have that.
Neither do we.
More laws would correct that. And I really encourage, if this can be seen by anybody, it's in legislation, to pass a law to where they can get that out there. It would help. It would help bridge the gap. It would help educate the cops. The cops would know what to do. You know, there are bad cops, but still, they would know what to do when they get to the door. They would approach you with empathy and know that, okay, this guy's, he might be able to communicate with me well, he may not be able to. And if he's not exhibiting other signs of intoxication or whatever, then we'll go through that route. So that's why it's so important for education.
I kind of see it a little differently. I don't want my brain injury being disclosed, especially in this political climate. So I prefer just to hold on to the brain injury card in the event of something happening like that. But you know, we definitely need more policy change in regards to, brain injury awareness laws that give accommodations to people with brain injuries. I know we have the Americans with Disabilities Act, but, um, something more exclusive to brain injury awareness and more brain injury program funding for people in need of services, once their insurance has everything, under the sun already covered, but they still need that ongoing support.
It's something that's definitely needed. And yeah, like you said, you wouldn't have to do that, Ashley, but if they would have a law to where you could do that, it's not a requirement for people in Kentucky to disclose that.
I would
So
be fine with it being optional. I just,
Yeah.
With everything going on with this administration, I don't like to get political, but them wanting to like make, things like autism and mental health, like public
That's
and violating people's HIPAA rights, like it just, yeah, I would
right.
prefer it to be optional, but to each their own.
Yeah.
And our final point, it's how we rewrite the narrative. Awareness transforms survivors from uh, tragic backstories into resilient humans with valuable voices and stories worth hearing. Now, granted, I don't consider myself to be someone that has a tragic backstory, but I know we've definitely interviewed people with tragic backstories, that on how they got their brain injury, or people who
Mhm.
had brain injuries but had a traumatic childhood, or
Right.
trauma as an adult before their brain injury, um, too. So jump in here, help me. I don't know where to
Oh,
go.
you're doing a good job. That's good.
I don't know where to go from here.
We've had it. I will have to say that throughout our program, we've had a very great representation of the the different levels, severity of brain injury. We've had some people that, if you did not know they had a brain injury, you would swear they were some college professor. But that's just the thing. You can't tell. That's why the awareness is so important. But yeah, we've had some people that have just hit every part of the spectrum. And if you are watching this program and you want to be a part of this, I forgot to mention it last week. So drop a comment below. Tell us how important it is for you for awareness to be out there. And if you want to be on our program, contact us at the email address below, rob@myliferewired.com. And I forget sometimes to mention this, but we have a website, myliferewired.com, and there's a tab that says resources. Every time we find something that we know is helpful for us, we throw it up there on the website so you don't have to recreate the wheel. Everything from, like Ashley was talking about, the Americans with Disabilities Act. I didn't know about JAN.org, which is the Job Accommodation Network. That is up there. If you have a brain injury and you still want to work, and disability is not an option, so you're stuck between, I don't have that severe of a brain injury to not have the option to work, they will help you work with your employer so that you can still have the accommodations to continue to do your job. You might just need a bigger monitor to see better on the screen. You might need to facilitate more breaks, like Ashley was talking to you about, and our company does that for us as well. So yeah, anytime we have resources that we find, that's going on the website. Also, before I throw it over to you, Ashley, for your closing thoughts, um, fellow survivor Jason Lawley, who's been on the program before, and he'll be back pretty soon because we're getting very close to the big 100 episode.
100 and Rob Neves.
Yep. He's going to be back, along with a lot of our other, I don't want to say all of our favorite guests because we don't have the time to pack into the episode of everybody that's been on the program. But some of the ones that are available will be back on the program. But Jason is starting a new adventure. He is doing Patreons, and I will drop it in the link. So if you'd like to support him, it's $5 a month. And what he's doing, he's got all his videos from the past, videos that people have not seen are going to be on there, and he's got them categorized by different topics. So anything that you can think of that it's like, I need some encouragement for this topic or that, it's available to you. And they're not long videos. They're just, maybe 2 to 3 minutes or less. But if you've never seen his videos, he's super encouraging. super uplifting. So $5 a month, and you have unlimited access to all his content.
That's a cup of coffee at Starbucks, so definitely
Right.
doable.
Actually, a little bit less than a cup of coffee.
I was thinking the smallest size.
Oh yeah, you're probably about right. But yeah, to help our friend Jason Lawley out, it's $5 a month, So, and
And
it'll
you
be an
can
additional
also
check.
help. You can also help us out with what is it? The cup of coffee. What's it called?
Buy me a coffee. Yeah,
Buy me a coffee.
we initially set that up for to help with production cost, and I have yet to use it for that because every time there's a need, I help someone else out with the need. So, like our friend Jason Lawley. I won't go into the backstory of all that, but he was really in a pinch, and we asked you guys for help. You helped us out, and that's what all of that money went to, was to help Jason. So we're so appreciative of people like that, and we'd love to give back. So if you want to help us out, I'll drop the link below for our Buy Me a Coffee.
Sounds great. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Rob. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Not the end, just re-inspired. This is me, my life rewired.